His fate is in his own hands now.
I will end this.
Welcome back to the regular podcast. It's anything but. We're doing the Marvel Rewatch, episode 4, Thor. I enjoyed Thor.
I went in with an open mind, and I think I can say I was very pleasantly surprised. You know,
It's-
before I watched this movie, like again, it would have been an F tier for me, but I think it's not that bad. You know,
I'm glad your perception changed.
Well, I thought it was a little better than I thought it would be. It's an enjoyable movie. It's just not my
Yes.
favorite Thor movie.
yeah, I don't
It
know.
is nobody's favorite Thor movie.
I
We
thought
can
you
all
said he
agree
was
that.
yours.
No, I said it got the best theme.
Ah, yeah, but
Yeah, but
Thor, it was kind of a rocky start because I'm pretty sure the general public dislikes this movie. And you can see why. There's a lot of things to
Yeah.
dislike about this movie.
some people like it. Some people, trash on it. I honestly don't think that it deserves like hate.
Mm-hmm.
It has a lot of bad things in it, but nothing that's too horrible.
Yeah, it's got a lot of flaws, but I don't think it deserves as much as the hate that it receives. Because it's not that bad. I really don't think
Yeah.
it's as bad.
I felt like the Dutch tilts would have been okay
yeah.
if it was just a little bit, like if it was just like 1 to 5 Dutch tilts on Asgard. Like I don't want to see them on, like on Earth. I would rather see them on Asgard more. But
Yeah,
in
the
every
Dutch
scene, there's
tilts.
almost a Dutch.
The Dutch tilts. Yeah, 90% of these scenes are in the scenes in the movie are Dutch tilts, and it's not like subtle Dutch tilts. Well, they are
No,
subtle,
like
and they're like subtle and they're not, and the subtle ones are worse because like you can't tell it's a Dutch tilt, but your brain knows like something's off, and they really should have
Yeah,
saved the
like it's
Dutch
tilted.
tilts. Yeah, they should have saved
I
the
didn't,
Dutch tilts.
I didn't like that the camera was tilted at all on
Mm.
Earth. It just didn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, it just wasn't right.
Really
I mean, I
should
like the
have.
fish out of water storyline. I guess that's what they was
Yeah.
going for, like with tilting the camera, make it seem like it wasn't, he wasn't supposed to be
Yeah.
here. But at the same time, it would have been better if it was just on Asgard only, and
Mm.
it was like only 1 to 5 Dutch tilts,
They
just
shoulda
sprinkled into the
Use
movie.
the Dutch tilts for moments where it's like a mystery, like when Loki is telling Thor that their father died and he's lying to him. Like that would have been a good moment for a Dutch tilt.
Yeah,
And like when Odin falls into Odin's sleep, that would have been a good thing for a Dutch tilt because that automatically sends the signal to your brain that something is off. But
yeah,
just throwing Dutch tilts in every other scene just makes you feel nauseous.
exactly. So I guess that's why a lot of people didn't really like the movie.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. It was great to me.
It's not
Well,
great.
I'm
but
not
it's
gonna
not,
say it's great. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
I'm not gonna say
terrible.
great.
like
It's good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's good because there's a lot of stuff I didn't like, but it's enjoyable. It was funny. A lot of people say that it was Taika Waititi and Thor Ragnarok that made Thor a comedy, but Thor's really always kind of been like the funny fish out of water. I
Oh
just
yeah,
think
always.
Taika is what made him like everyone know. And
Yeah, always.
one thing I didn't like
He
about
was-
this movie was the coloring. It's a lot of yellow.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I felt like on Asgard, that stuff kind of worked
Mm-hmm.
because it was like grand and golden and stuff like that. I like that type
Yeah.
of stuff. But on like Earth, the way like the rest of the MCU have color grading, it is kind of different than what we had before.
Yeah, like a lot of these Phase 1 movies are kind of washed out, but one thing I think is a big problem with this movie is the setting. What's cool
Yeah,
about
New Mexico?
New Mexico?
Yeah, especially
they-
because they built that set.
Mm-hmm. And like
So
they managed to turn like a mystic.
The
Like
set
just
fell out of
imagine,
place.
just imagine a story about Thor where it's like him traveling to different planets, trying to like regain his honor, or like
Yeah, that
redeem
would have been
himself.
cool.
Like they
Yeah,
made,
a little bit more of a Guardians type movie.
Yeah, but they made
yeah,
fantasy story boring by putting it in like some backwater New Mexican town.
Yeah.
I enjoy that. But I mean, for the story that they was telling, they had no other choice but to put him in New Mexico or somewhere,
Yeah.
or any small town. You
But I
know,
think the
because
reason
you
they
know in
did
small
that,
towns you know
yeah,
in small towns they say that you learn more humanity and like more humility
yeah,
because like everybody in small towns are like happy go lucky people or like they're nice to each other. Sometimes I
hmm
feel like
but the thing is, I think they put it in like this random town in New Mexico is because to contrast it with like the golden castles of Asgard, to, some shambly town in the middle of the desert. But I just don't
yeah,
think it makes an interesting setting to put these characters in.
exactly. Because where are they? They're just in the middle of nowhere.
I know.
Like people have houses there or something. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's just like in the
It's
middle
just
of
weird.
the desert. But
Yeah. So
yeah,
it
go
was
ahead.
just it was just a lot of things that I liked about it, but I can definitely see the negatives. I can see
Yeah,
everything that's wrong with this movie.
I think
And even before I became a fan of this movie, I really didn't like the movie. I didn't
yeah,
see it until after I saw Black Panther. Like that was the first time I ever seen the first story.
yeah, but
Oh, I saw it like a week after it came out. I remember exactly how I saw it too. My parents and I were watching a movie, and then kind of snuck into Thor. Watched
Yeah,
Thor.
because when Civil War came out, I never saw Ant-Man, I never saw the first Thor, and I never saw the first Captain America. I saw
Oh no,
Ant-Man.
I think it was Thor 2 I saw. I'm not
Oh,
sure. I can't remember.
but I think
But I know I saw it in theaters.
I think Thor is
oh.
kind of a big problem as a main character because I mean they did it on purpose, but I think they went too far into his ability. But like,
Yeah, Buddy straight up killed like I don't know how many people and
yeah,
still smiled.
I know this dude was laughing and he was just dropping down frost giants over and over, and he just
Saying
seems like a
dropping
kid
bodies.
who just get mad and throw a tantrum whenever he doesn't get what he wants. It was pretty much what he did.
Yeah.
No,
Except he killed people.
yeah, he's good at the end, but just really like his redemption is only about like 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the end of the movie.
I
I
say I
mean, he
think
was
he
getting
grows.
redeemed throughout the
He
entire yeah.
grows. He grows as a character way too fast.
I think it's way too
What?
slow.
Huh? I
I
think
think
it's
he
too
doesn't really
fast.
start growing
I
or
don't think
like
he can change his lifestyle in just a couple
I
of
don't think
days
he
like that.
changes much until like the beginning of the third act. And by then it's like kind of like it's subtle change, but I think that's when it really starts to kick into motion. But
Yeah, a lot of stuff just happens by coincidence.
one of the biggest things I don't like about this movie is freaking Natalie Portman's Jane Foster. Oh my god, she is so
Hmm.
stupid.
Hmm.
Just imagine. Nah, just think.
I can
Some dude fell from space. You smacked into her with the car, and then you just started babysitting him for the next week.
tase them.
Freaking
Tase them
any
first.
normal person, as soon as this dude was talking about his hammer and Odin and the freaking Bifrost in the middle of the desert, you'd immediately think he's crazy.
Well,
Immediately.
that's white people for you.
Yeah, I know. They don't
Oh
see.
wow, wow.
Dude's dangerous. Dude's dangerous. You saw how he slammed the glass down. This dude's a psychopath. Should not be hanging around this dude. But nah, just because he's all cute and he's got big muscles, you want to take care of him like he's a little freaking pet.
Simp.
Stupid. I hate Jane Foster.
As a character, I mean, she's not very
I don't know.
good, but she's not that bad. It's like she's taller.
Yeah, she's taller. You know,
Barely.
I wouldn't say I want to see her in her own movie, but I
Mm.
mean, as a supporting character, she's okay.
This movie is just an hour and 52 minutes of freaking Thor running around in the desert with Padme. But
I mean, hey man, Padme was bad in them Star Wars.
my favorite character in this movie is Loki. I think Tom Hiddleston does an amazing job in this movie.
Yeah, I couldn't see him as Thor. He auditioned for Thor. I
Yeah.
can't see
He's
him
like
as
too
Thor.
Weasley to be Thor, but I think he's the
Yeah,
perfect casting for Loki. Just like how RDJ
yeah.
is perfect casting for Iron Man.
Just like how Terrence Howard, perfect casting for Rhodey.
Alternate universe, maybe.
That's a good joke, dude.
It was a great joke. But Loki, I think Tom Hiddleston does the best performance in this movie. I think he puts the most effort into it. And I think he's a good
Yeah,
pairing with Chris Hemsworth as like the undermined brother Loki.
very sympathetic too.
Yeah, he's a very sympathetic. I think this is one of the very first villains that you kind of like. You can see his point.
Yeah,
You know, he just
Justin Hammer,
yeah, Justin Hammer.
but Justin Hammer, he was all right.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I think Loki does it better.
yeah. So Loki was probably the best character out of this. I like Odin. Odin
Yeah,
was pretty cool
Odin's
too.
really
But I mean,
nice.
yeah, when he was on screen, he was
Yeah,
great.
he took the
But when
presence.
when he was in Odin's sleep,
Yeah,
he
I
just
feel like
was
he was just an
that off.
oversleep for the movie, for the rest of the movie because Anthony Hopkins was too expensive.
Yeah, probably.
Like,
So they just had him close his eyes and not speak.
you're telling me this king who's been through hundreds of thousands of years of war gets freaking goes into Odin sleep when his adopted kid yells at him for 5 minutes? Come on, Odin.
Got shut down.
Loki
You know,
literally
That's
sat
crazy.
him
honestly,
down.
I don't really agree with that. You know, he was trying to do something great for this child, and it just hurt
Yeah.
him. He
Yeah.
destroyed like that.
You gotta think he's probably been through way more
distraught.
stressful things.
Yeah, but honestly,
Hella.
it's different when it comes to your child.
And also
That was
Heimdall.
he sent it. He banished Hela to hell.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
but-
I think Heimdall's really cool in this movie. Like, you
He's
can
all right.
tell. I think Idris
I
Elba's a really.
I wasn't a
great
fan of
actor.
Heimdall.
Yeah, I
Idris
wasn't a
Elba
fan
is
of
great. He's sexy.
Heimdall at first, but yeah, after like watching all the movies with him in it, I think
Yeah.
he's really like, cool.
Heimdall is sexy.
And I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said, people are okay with a magic hammer flying around, but people are mad with the color of my skin because he's the different color from the comics. Well, fire.
Yeah. Wait,
Heimdall.
who said that? What, Heimdall said that?
Idris Elba said that. He said something
Oh.
along the lines of people are okay with the god with a magic hammer flying around, but people are upset about the color of my skin. Because people were mad that
Oh,
Heimdall
he said it
wasn't
in an
white.
interview?
I think so. I don't remember where,
Well,
but
cool beans.
And
Yeah.
what do you think of the Warriors 3?
Warriors 3 were they worked better in this movie.
I didn't like him.
You didn't like them?
The one I didn't like was Fandral and Hogan. Because, Fandral, it's kind of hard to get connected to him when he gets replaced every other movie.
Yeah, but I mean it's still the same character, so I can.
Yeah, but it's just kind of hard.
They all look alike. I mean, they're all white guys with like blonde.
Yeah, that weird little
blonde mustache. Yeah.
But I think Hogan. Come on, give the freaking Chinese dude more to say. He had one line at the end of the movie. I don't even.
And
remember
then
what
in
he
Thor
said.
Ragnarok, he just gets
he
white Thor Ragnarok.
It's written out of the story. Killed by Hela. The only one that survived was Sif. No,
Yeah.
Volstagg. He's
Sif-
just like.
Sif is. I feel like Sif is the only compelling character.
Yeah.
Sif
Out of
should have been the
Thor's-
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Sif
Like, how can
wanted
you
it.
live for 1,500 years with Sif by your side and then fall in love with Jane Foster in 1 week? Like, are you
Actually,
kidding me?
2 days.
2
It
days?
was 2 days. Yeah, it was 2
Tell me
days.
this movie took place over 2 days.
Yep. Because he
That's why I
got
don't
there
like
that
this movie.
night. He got there that night. That really doesn't count as a day. So
Nah,
then
but
that
when he went to the
morning, he was in
Hammer, it
hospital.
was nighttime, so that was another day.
Yeah, so that was
And then he
that
was
was
with
the
Jane
first
by the
day,
campfire.
and that was
So
the
that's
same day that
that's
he went
3
to the Hammer.
days.
No, that was the
Nah.
same day that he went in the Hammer.
I don't know. The time is confusing, but
No, it's
Volstagg,
the
I
same
think
day.
he's just the stereotypical fat dude, you know.
Yeah, Kimari. So
But-
just
Come on, bro.
it's not like he's gonna listen to this. But
Alright.
the I want to like. It's a lot of things that I like about the story.
Mhm.
You know, it's very
Yeah.
it's very formulaic. At the beginning of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, their Phase 1 movies are very formulaic.
Yeah, and I think
Like,
this is
Hmm?
This is one of the good Phase 1 movies where it doesn't fall apart at the third act.
no, it doesn't.
It's actually like,
It
pretty
has a
well.
lot of emotional payoff.
Yeah, and like this whole movie is, it's pretty much Thor's redemption arc.
Yeah.
And he needs to
But
go
I
from
mean-
being a pompous brat to an actual like king, or someone who's capable of being the king.
Yeah, because like you just said at the beginning, he was a boy. I mean,
Mhm.
he was still acting like this immature child that was just so fascinated about being a king, and you can actually see it. Like
Yeah.
even when he was a child, you could see that he's this immature
Yeah,
person.
he thinks war and violence are like just like something to have fun with.
Yeah,
The Thor at the beginning of the movie probably would not be a good king for Asgard.
he wouldn't.
And I think
An
the other side
arrogant
of that
king,
coin
you
is
know?
Loki. No, he's the
Yeah,
I think he's a lot like Justin Hammer, where he's just always getting outshadowed by Thor, and probably throughout his whole life, he probably felt different since he was a frost giant, but he never knew it.
exactly.
I know, and you can
Yeah.
tell that he just wants to live up to Thor, or live up
Like
to his
he just wants
father.
to be his equal. Yeah,
Yeah,
he wants to be his equal. So I think that actually helps the story out a
yeah.
lot. It
It makes you
it
care
keeps the
about Loki,
story afloat. Yeah, it keeps the story afloat.
and like you can see at the end, Loki actually uses Thor's love for him to trick him when he's hanging off the edge. He says, "Help me, brother," but it was just a hologram. I think Loki,
Exactly.
like Thor, actually cares about Loki, but I don't think Loki realizes it, so he uses that as an advantage. And then the story in New Mexico, honestly, probably could have done without.
Bland.
Yeah, it's really slow. It feels like
I didn't really like. I didn't like the way I didn't like the way it looked. It just
Yeah,
looked kind of out of place.
there's a lot of brown,
Whenever
yellow.
I think New Mexico, I don't think whatever I just saw in that
Yeah.
movie.
Well, in New Mexico, that's one of the things that I think about. I think of like a desert or something
Yeah,
like
I've
Well,
lived
that's
in
just for me
Arizona. It's
for
pretty
New
much
Mexico.
like that.
Yeah,
But it's just not an interesting place to place
yeah,
a
it's
fantasy
very
story
bland.
about gods. You know, it's just like when you think of God, you don't think of freaking New Mexico. You want to think of like fantasy dragons, castles, everything. And I think that's what this movie should have been. A fantasy
Yeah,
odyssey about Thor trying to
but
reclaim himself.
they sacrifice all of that. Like they sacrifice thousands, like millions of dollars, just to give us a character on this new
Yeah.
character that we never seen in film. I felt
Mhm.
like to me this first movie is a great character study of Thor.
I think
Yeah,
it's okay. But I think
it's definitely not the best
Yeah.
entrance to the MCU.
No, not by far. And I think a
No.
glaring problem with the movie is the CGI, which I think probably could have been solved if they didn't spend millions of dollars trying to build a town in New Mexico to blow up.
Okay,
Yeah.
I want to
Or
say something
trying to
about the CGI. The CGI was good at times for the time period,
Yeah.
except at some points, if you look real close, you can see the small. What's the word for it? I don't want to say the inconsistencies of the CGI. If you look close enough,
Yeah.
like some reflections and shadows.
Yeah.
And,
Shadows
saying
not being where they
of
the
the
way
should
light
green
be.
screen.
shines off of things.
Yeah, the
Yes,
green
the
screen.
Exactly.
The
You can see the
outlining for the
outline of the green
characters-
screen.
The
I think
outline
the
of the
CGI.
characters is terrible.
I think the
do not
CGI
like
for
that.
this movie is good when there aren't people in the scene. Like when it's just
Yeah,
all CGI
like
background,
Asgard is
it looks really
beautiful.
beautiful. But when you see Thor
As soon as you put
across
Thor in
Asgard,
front of that, you can see a white line around him.
yeah, it's on
Exactly. You can see it.
But if you're seeing it in a theater, big screen, for the first
Yeah,
time, you're probably not gonna notice it. But
It's because that I think it's because that movie was not meant for 4K, and 4K just kind of
It was meant for 3D.
broadens.
Yeah,
it
us being
broad- yeah, but it's not
nitpickers.
4K though.
Us being nitpickers,
I
we
know.
noticed. And I
What?
think CGI is, it's like when you notice it, you can't unnotice it.
Yeah.
Like in the first few
Bro, I
scenes, you
can't
said the
watch
CGI was
Endgame.
bad.
I can't watch Endgame without seeing Thanos' fingers clip in between each other when he's finna snap.
Or seeing
I can't
Pepper
unsee
Potts'
it.
face.
Yeah, Pepper and on rescue is not good. But
Uh,
Thor, I think the Thor in this movie and the Thor in the current MCU is like completely different people.
Yeah. But I
And-
mean, he grows though throughout
Yeah.
every Thor movie, even in the
Bro,
Avengers
Thor
movies.
1 and 2 is out the window, dude.
Yeah.
I don't remember much. Even after watching it, it still feels like it's, not a part of the
Yeah, that's how a lot of
of the
these Phase
MCU.
1 movies
It's not a big
feel.
part of it.
A lot of these
Yeah.
Phase 1 movies feel like they're just trying to tell a story, and then setting up the MCU is an afterthought. But I
But
think-
that's a good thing though.
Yeah,
What
it
they
could
was
be a good
really
thing.
like what they were originally trying to do was just make standalone movies that kind of gives us a little tease of what's to come.
But I think that can also be a double-edged sword, because when you want to watch these movies with the power of hindsight, they don't really feel like they're connected, aside
Yeah.
from like a few loose Easter eggs. The
Yeah,
You might
yeah,
say
their
that's
whole
good, but I
goal
don't
was
think
just to
that's a
get
good
to the
thing.
Avengers.
Especially comparing this to Iron Man 1, I think Iron Man 1 and 2 have had the best CGI out of all 4 of the movies we've watched. By
Yeah, because they
far.
they use a lot of practical effects.
Yeah, I think this
And
movie could have
Thor,
done with some more practical effects. You know,
What? Oh yeah.
because I think the only really practical scenes were in the New Mexican town when stuff was getting blown up.
Yeah, those were the only practicals.
But I
Yeah,
like
but
the
I mean,
story.
like, continuing, like, how these movies like get into the Avengers. The villain of the Avengers is the villain of this
I
movie.
know.
Like, like you just said, I love Loki too because people loved him so much. They put him as the villain of the Avengers.
Yeah, I love
Like
Loki.
that.
He's just one of my favorite villains of all time.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Like how his arc just.
Yeah. At the
It's not
beginning of
boring.
the movie, he seems like a good person who just likes playing pranks on people. But then you can
Yeah,
slowly like see him like try and like uh play Thor like a puppet, like manipulate him into his
exactly.
schemes. But I think the story does a good job of explaining why he's the way he is and why he acts like evil. I think he just does it for attention and
Exactly.
recognition from his
He
father.
wants the attention
Honestly,
of
I
his.
think I think Loki's the best character in this movie.
Yeah, that's what I
He
think
is.
that's true. Because Loki,
Like, I'm sorry, just Thor's just not even closely good enough as
Thor's
Loki.
good. I think Thor's the second best.
Yeah, he definitely is.
But Loki, I feel like, imagine if this movie was switched and Loki was our protagonist, and we saw the movie from his point of view.
Still wouldn't change anything.
I think it would be good though.
He
I
was
think it would be
he would
crazy.
still be the villain of his own movie.
Yeah, kind of like Thanos.
Yeah. So like he man, he wasn't he the one that opened up like the entrance to like Asgard at the beginning of the movie when like Thor was about to become king or something or like his big
No,
day.
I think that was
I didn't know
Odin.
that Loki
I
did
think that
that.
was Odin.
No, it was
No,
it
it
was
was Odin. It
Loki.
was Odin. I remember, because he was talking about King Bor, his grandfather, or his father.
I'm talking about like that opening scene where like Thor was when Thor was about to become king or something like that. It was like Thor's big day, and then they got attacked by frost.
Oh, yeah, I like
Loki
Odin.
was the one that opened up the entrance.
Yeah, and he
I
said
was
it
like,
was all just for a
I
bit
didn't
of
know that.
fun.
Exactly, I didn't know that.
And I think Tom Hiddleston, he's just like has such a likable charisma on screen that you can't help but not like Loki and laugh at him. But not laugh at him in a bad way. You laugh at him because
Yeah,
he's a funny character.
exactly.
And, I think
He's a cool character.
yeah,
He's nice. He's
and I feel like a lot of people can relate to him because probably a lot of people in their lifetime have been in the shadow of someone.
exactly of their bigger brother or
Yeah, if you're a
something like
middle
that.
child, you're in the shadow by everyone else. I feel like that's exactly how Loki feels, like the middle child. Even though technically Thor's the middle child,
Yeah,
but
but I mean,
they don't know that.
Loki just gets like so disrespected. I feel really
Yeah.
bad for him.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes him a good. When the movie can make you feel bad for a villain, I think that's when they've made a good villain. Throughout this whole movie, it wasn't like the other Phase 1 movies where you didn't know why they would do this. You can perfectly see why Loki is doing all this because he just wants to play this whole plan to make him the hero and the rightful king.
Exactly, he wants to be king, and that's exactly who Tom Hiddleston is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you ever noticed that he
It
wants like
shows what type of actor he is.
Yeah,
What type of characters he can portray.
and I think you're
like
about to say how he auditioned.
yeah, exactly how he auditioned for Thor, and he wanted to be Thor. So when they gave him the role of Loki, that was his chance to express how he felt about
Yeah.
somebody being
And I think casting
Thor.
an actor who's like in that similar situation, he's being overshadowed by the main title card, Chris Hemsworth. And I think that's perfect for making him
Exactly.
Loki. He's in the shadow of Chris Hemsworth, just like in character, he's in the shadow of Thor. You could
I
tell,
just realized that. That's crazy.
and you could tell Odin really, I don't think he means to do it on purpose, but he does treat Thor higher than Loki
Yeah,
I
because
mean, he honestly has to because
yeah,
he needs to show Thor the support so that Thor can become
yeah.
a great
the
king.
king. Yeah,
But I like how I think Odin would have been fine if Loki was king because he wants them to be the bridge between Asgard and Jotunheim.
exactly.
'Cause
So
Loki's
that would have
first.
been cool.
Yeah, I think that
would've
would have
been
been cool
cool.
if Loki ended up king.
Honestly, it would have ended up cool if Loki in this universe was older, because it would have became a bridge to where Thor would have found out that Loki was
Yeah,
an
and
ice
think
giant.
Loki, the
And
older brother, would have been causing all the stuff to make sure that he becomes king.
exactly. But if he was already king, Thor would be trying to stop him from becoming king. But then again, that would destroy the relationship later on
Yeah.
in the MCU.
But I think they did a good
Yeah,
job with the villain of this movie. It's one of the
yeah,
it's my top favorites.
yeah. But he is number one. The hero is number two. He's not really a hero at the beginning. He's
Yeah,
just this arrogant child.
I find it hard to like Thor in this movie in the beginning, in like
I,
the first
yeah,
45 minutes,
like
because
just
you can just see like when he's like in battle, he's almost like psychotic.
I'm
Like
saying, like
he's
piss me off. I
he's
dare you.
yeah, like he's just dropping down hundreds and hundreds of frost giants. You know, he's smiling, he's laughing. You
But he
know,
he does good. He does a lot of work. With the hammer.
yeah,
So that's
they
pretty
really
cool.
do.
That
I said while we were watching, these movies really do a good job of showing how powerful Thor is. And I
like
think
he is actually pretty good with the
Thor's
hammer.
arc in this movie is, as I said in the beginning, it's kind of slow, but it's a really good freaking arc. You know, you see the
Really
pompous
good.
would-be king. You know, you see him, Odin, like, it takes a bunch of harsh love, but Odin strips him of his power and sends him down to
I'm
pretty much be a
saying,
peasant.
and like this was a lot of. I guess the people mindset was they really didn't understand what Odin was talking about. Like the general audience when he cast a spell on Mjolnir. So
Hmm.
like when Thor went to like the shield place to try to lift it up, probably
Yeah,
a lot of people thought that he was gonna lift it,
yeah,
but they probably
It
subverted
does it
their
for a
expectations.
reason.
yeah. A lot of people were
Odin
probably
does everything for a
confused.
reason. So
You know, I think that scene where he's trying to pick the hammer, is yelling into the sky. I thought to myself, he's yelling at Odin.
Exactly, perfect
I
representation.
know. Like he's yelling up into the sky. He's confused. He's wondering why he's not worthy. Thor's probably never had to worry about being worthy, but I think Odin stripping him of his power and sending him down to be mortal.
honestly, after that, I feel like Thor is kind of kicking himself, saying like, "Why am I not worthy?
Yeah,
What have I done to have distraught you this much
I know. And I
for you
think
to
it
cast this
causes
upon
Thor
me?"
to do a retrospective of his own life and his actions.
Exactly. And then even when Loki was talking to him, I mean that scene is silly, but it's a
Hmm.
like Thor actually cries in that scene,
I know, and
and it
you
showed
kind
and
of
like 'cause,
feel sad because
mhm,
he's asking if he can
exactly,
come home. You know, I
exactly,
think
and like
Odin's,
he's just a scared little kid.
yeah,
You feel that he's a kid,
yeah,
man.
he just wants to go home, and then you can see when Loki lies to him because their father died and his mother has banished him. You can really see that
Yeah,
all come crashing down on Thor without Hemsworth even saying a single word. I think Hemsworth
yeah.
does a good job of
So
portraying the emotion of just being cast out alone. I
so
think when
that
Loki and them say
wow.
bye to each other, that one almost made me tear up because you
When
can
he said
tell that
what?
when Loki said bye to him, he said farewell. That Thor
Oh
thanked him for coming. You can tell he doesn't want to be alone on this
yeah.
strange world. I think it's really
So
good.
hey,
Yeah.
might as well like make the most of like what he got
Hmm.
still.
I
At
think
least
they
he
did
still got
a good job of
people.
tearing down the bravado of this warrior King Thor, and you can really show that he's just a vulnerable person.
Exactly. You saw how confident he was in the
Hmm.
beginning. He was just so vulnerable in this
Yeah,
scene. So
and seeing he really like his facade cracks, and you can really tell that like he's beginning to wonder if he's worthy. He's beginning to wonder if he's the rightful king. I think that, it all ties up nicely in the end. He sacrifices his chance to see his freaking horrible girlfriend Jane Foster. Who cares about her?
exactly. Somebody that he has no connection
I
to.
know, but he loves her apparently. He destroys the Bifrost, pretty much potentially ruining his whole chance of seeing Jane again, just to
Or ever
stop.
returning back to her, or
Yeah,
like ever returning back to Earth.
just to stop the Frost Giants from invading. And I think Thor at the beginning of the movie wouldn't have done that. I don't
Nope.
think he would have sacrificed
He would have
himself in
took
that
the
way.
battle to them.
Yeah,
He would have took the battle to them, or still fought them.
if it wasn't for Odin stopping him in the beginning, I think Thor could have brought destruction to Asgard and caused Ragnarok way early.
Exactly, way earlier. So this hero arc is very fantastic, but
A
I don't
little
think
slow
it's
at
the
times.
best. Yeah, and very very fast with the relationship, like with the romantic relationship.
Yeah, I think that
If
romantic subplot could have been cut out.
maybe if they would have led up to it, like in the second movie or something like
Yeah,
that. I don't know. Maybe they would have led up
if they
to
just
it.
kind
I
of hinted
would
at it in this movie and
better.
then built upon it in
Yeah, like
the Dark
a great
Worlds.
relationship always starts out with a friendship, so
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. But
like
what did you guys think of the third act? Like
I think comparing it to the other movies we've watched, I think it's the second best. I
it's the
think it's
second best.
I think
It was a.
I think it's the
What's
most
what's,
concise
It
what's
didn't
your
really
number
have
one?
that
Iron Man
much
2.
of a. It had a build up, but just a build up I wasn't connected to. So
Iron Man 2 is
Exactly.
my
it
best.
was just
What
a whatever for me.
what's your number one, Jonathan?
Iron Man 2.
Oh, Iron Man 2 is better than that one. I feel like this is the worst out of the Phase 1.
No, what? You think Bruce
I'm
Banner
sorry,
Hulk?
this
No.
in my opinion, this is the worst third act of the entire MCU.
The entire?
Yep, the entire MCU.
Jeez, dude, that's kind of
I
toxic.
love the movie. I
Full of
love the
cap
build
cap.
up to it.
Think it's better than Black
I
Panther? I mean, you think it's worse than Black Panther?
yeah, it's worse than Black Panther, man. I mean, I get it. I get the real, like the emotional payoff to this. I love it. It's just them like throwing each other around. It's not really a big fight between these two godlike characters, you know?
I'm gonna need a moment of
Yeah.
silence for all this cap.
Cause I mean, it's just them throwing each other around. Like, what
But
else do you
it's
get out of that?
brother v brother, and you can see Loki breaking down. He's crying when he's telling
I
Thor,
see that.
"Is
That's
it
what
madness?"
and like that's why I said I could see the emotional payoff. I love that stuff. I just wish that it was just a better choreographed fight than just them throwing each other
I think
around.
it wasn't supposed to be about the fight. I think it was supposed to be about these brothers clashing.
I'm not even gonna lie, that fight scene was doo doo.
It could have been better. I agree with Sterling. It could have been choreographed, but I think it's the emotion that makes it good. You can see Loki. He hits Thor with a fake
Is
out.
it?
He straight up kills Thor. Like
Is
the
it?
man's dead on ground in the
Is
grave.
it?
But I think that's a nice moment that shows that Thor is worthy.
I mean, it definitely does give character development. It's just
Yeah.
as a third act fight scene, it's
Yeah.
not very
I
good.
think the emotion shows like that's how Loki feels against Thor. He probably just wants to. He has all this rage built up inside of him after being in the shadow for so long, and I think he just wants to unleash that upon Thor.
Yeah, but it's just too short, man.
Yeah, I agree. The third
It's too
act.
short. There's a lot of throwing around.
Honestly, it kind of reminds me of Incredible Hulk.
Yeah,
It has meaning to it, but no one really cares about it. So
I care. But
Like
I think
I don't see the hate against Thor: The Dark World's final battle because that one was better than this one, in my opinion.
we'll have to rewatch.
yeah, it's better.
Haven't seen Dark World in a very long time.
I
I
haven't
think
seen Dark
Very
World.
long one.
I've probably
Very
seen
long time.
I've probably seen Dark World twice in my entire
I
lifetime.
think I've only seen it
I've-
twice as well.
I only saw the third act, and that was like 2 weeks ago.
But I
Actually,
think
4.
the third act in this movie, even like the resting point of the conclusion, is where you can see Odin says to him, "You have made me proud," and you can see I think Thor sacrificing himself. I think that's when his character arc completes. He lays
Yep.
down his life for humans, for the girl that he loves, even though that love isn't very warranted.
Yeah, I think she probably loves him because
Yeah.
he's hot and sexy and
I
got
don't think
muscles
she
and stuff
actually like
and abs.
loves him.
Yeah.
Loves him. She just loves.
And
I mean, who wouldn't?
and-
Freaking Chris Hemsworth, you know.
Son, bro, he's so fine. Hey, but like,
Saying.
but like, I don't think Thor liked her.
I think it's kind of like middle school love, you know. It's
Yeah,
like he thinks she's
like, it
cute.
doesn't
She
matter.
thinks you're cute. So you just say you're dating.
yeah.
But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about the third act. Oh yeah, but I think that exact moment when Thor like gets killed. Was he dead? Was he dead there?
Yeah, he died.
Yeah, when he was dead on the ground, you know, I think that's the exact moment when he became worthy of his title.
Cause he laid down his life to save innocent people.
Yeah, and I don't think Thor at the beginning of this movie would really care about innocent people. But that's what I
Yeah, all he
think.
cared about was war.
Yeah, war and violence, being the king. But I don't think he was worthy in the beginning. But I think near the end, when his arc completes in the third act, I think he is worthy. He is worthy of the hammer.
So yeah, that's okay. Is that your favorite moment? Like,
Best moment. I can think of some best moments like I couldn't with Iron Man 2. One of the good moments is I like all the establishing shots of Asgard.
I just
think
like when
that's-
Loki falls. That
When Loki
CGI
what?
Yeah, can we talk about that for a
falls.
sec? Can we talk about
That
that for a sec?
CGI was doo-doo.
It wasn't the
Oh my
CGI. It wasn't the
God, dude.
CGI. The CGI
Freaking
was fine.
Superman
It's
T-pose.
yes,
Dude,
he
it
Jesus
just looks
mode.
like they held click on him and just dragged
Yeah,
him
no,
slowly.
what I
out of
exactly was
space.
thinking myself is Loki, he was falling, think that Minecraft survival mode turns into creative, flies away. That's what it looked. The freaking way he T-poses made me think of the freaking Lego Star Wars Complete Saga Yoda death sound. But he just he just T-poses away into the freaking portal. And Thor's just like, no! It's just, I think it's really funny, but not in a good way. It's because it's stupid. It's really stupid.
Yeah.
But getting in all seriousness, one of my favorite scenes is when Thor isn't worthy enough to pick up the hammer. I think that's like there's no words. I'm pretty sure there's no words
Jonathan,
in it.
you pissed me off. You know that?
Piss you off for what?
That was my favorite scene.
Okay, and
I got to choose a different favorite scene.
who?
Probably.
Are you laughing because of what I sent?
Yes.
The audience won't know. The audience won't. Just know it's very funny. But what do you like about that scene, Sterling? Like when he's not worthy.
Okay, say that again.
What do you like, Stern? What do you like about that scene when he's not worthy?
Oh, I just like the fact, like, he just looks really sexy in the rain. Just wow. Just,
This man got a body pillow of Chris Hemsworth.
God, man, just.
But
Wish I was Natalie Portman, but like, no. In all seriousness, I just like the fact that he was so confident up to this point. Like he was throughout the entire movie when he got on New Mexico. He was like, "I'm going to get my hammer. Like that's my hammer." And then when he goes and tries to pick it up, it's like it's devastating to him because he finds out that he can't pick it up.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't know
like
that Odin cast a spell of the worthiness on it.
Exactly, he doesn't. So like he's actually at his lowest.
Yeah, he is at his lowest point. I think that is.
So it's
like it's just. I think it's just a beautiful silent scene. It's in the rain. It's a great visuals, and you can see he's just screaming into the sky. And, someone who hasn't been paying attention wouldn't really know that he's screaming at his father.
Exactly. So like I think I probably got 4 best moments. I'm gonna say I got 4 best moments.
Nice.
One of them was him picking up the hammer. He couldn't pick it up. The other one was him dying and realizing that and finding out that he really was worthy. And then the other one was him in the SHIELD headquarters and like Loki was talking to him. You actually saw like his emotion.
I forgot to say that. I do love that when Loki is talking to Thor. I think it's just a very nice sentimental moment.
It's a quiet scene. Yeah, it's a nice quiet
filled
scene.
with emotion. Like Loki, his brother, has to tell Thor that their fathers died and that he's vanished.
It shows character development. Thor's like, oh my god, I killed my father.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
I messed up. Like this is like, and I can't even come home and like apologize.
He begs to
see
come
his
home.
casket.
He begs to come home, and just learning that his mother banished him. You can see, I think it's
Carrie,
one of the
come
only times in the MCU where you can see him cry. I think it's one of the only times in the movies where you see Thor cry. The only only other one I can think of is Infinity War.
Yeah, Infinity War. That was
But I
the
don't
best
think you see
acting
actual
probably
tears.
from him.
You just see teary eyes.
Yeah, because he's trying to hold it back. He's trying to be strong and everything
But
like
in this
that.
moment
But like
with Loki, he's vulnerable and he's just letting it go. And he really
but I
breaks
think my other best moment was my last best moment was at the last of the movie where it had like the end credits. I think the end credits is one of the best moments of the movie. Not that the
the-
movie was ending. I just like the fact that we're just going through all of these different
Yeah.
realms and stuff, and it just looks good.
Oh,
Just
you're
like how
talking about like
Asgard
the
looks
credit
good.
when like we're
Yeah,
seeing the credits. Yeah, it's got some nice
yeah,
visuals.
yeah.
And another one of my favorite moments in the I like when Loki realized that he's a frost giant and he's yelling at Odin. It's just like acting
I should have
from
said that.
Hiddleston. Probably should have.
I have a lot of best moments from this movie. I'm probably not gonna I'm not gonna rewatch this a lot,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of good moments in this
I
movie.
probably won't watch this ever again, to be honest.
It's very bland. Yeah, it's very bland.
Yeah, but
But you know what was not bland?
Hmm.
That soundtrack. I love that soundtrack.
It's not as bad as I thought it was, as I remembered it. Going into this movie, I couldn't remember the soundtrack, but just hearing them in the back, I don't like the main theme. I do prefer the Taika Waititi retro synth because I love that type of aesthetic. But I do think this.
Honestly, I don't ever
this-
notice the soundtrack in these movies.
You
most of
really
the
only
time.
notice it in the flying establishing shots.
Yeah.
I think that's when
And then
it really tells
and
the
the
idea,
end credit
the
scene.
big golden
But that's
castle.
just it.
The movie is really good with flying. You said before you do feel like you're flying, and I get that feeling. But I don't.
Exactly.
In my opinion, I wouldn't prefer it, and I wouldn't place it up there as one of the best.
Only one that I
Hey,
like
I get that.
remember forever is Avengers theme, dude. I can't get that one out of my head.
Yeah, the Avengers.
Endgame is the
all-time
best.
classic.
Endgame is the best
Yeah,
theme.
Endgame's so good. Endgame's also the best Avengers movie, but we'll get into that later.
Piss me
That's
off.
way
I
down the
dare you.
line. Way down the line. Hey, I understood that reference. Age of Ultron.
But like,
You can see
no,
that.
this theme is just like I think it's my number 2 theme. It's the
In all-
best
in all
solo
time,
theme.
of all the movies.
I just love it. Yeah.
I wouldn't say that. I'd have it down on the list, but I'm not saying it's bad. No, it's I just think it's like a nice background music, but I don't think it's like something like the Avengers thing, like where you're supposed to see it and like immediately recognize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I heard this, dude, I would think it's something else or something like that.
Yeah.
I think
It's
just
very
the
grand.
thing.
Yeah,
Like,
I like.
I just love it.
I like it, but I don't love it like you say you do. I 100% prefer Taika Waititi's 80 synth. But
And I can
see
understand that.
I can understand it too. I can see someone who likes that more fantasy medieval tone, and I think the movie
It's
does a good
very
job of that.
grand.
Yeah, it's very grandiose. Sells the idea of the golden castle of Asgard.
It's just nice. It just make you feel like
Mhm.
you're actually on Thor's planet or something like that. You're
Is
actually
Asgard a
there with
planet?
him.
Another thing that
Thor
makes you
calls
feel
it
like
the
I'm
planet.
really there is oh crap.
Take your time.
Endgame.
What?
Oh my god.
Endgame. Like nobody remembers that movie. Nobody talks about that movie.
Screw you.
Yeah, off the
It was-
podcast.
But
Nobody
speaking of
talks about that
Endgame, the
movie, man.
end, and we're at the beginning of it. No, how do you guys think it fits into the MCU?
Trash, bad. I don't like it. It doesn't fit at all. Like I don't remember this when I think of Thor. Thor's changed so much as a character that this movie really doesn't matter.
It sets the stage for his character development to be that funny and humorous
Yeah, but
and
I don't
human.
think they did
in
a
Thor
good enough
Ragnarok.
job of it to where people
Bro, this
associate
movie's
that with
humor
Thor.
was so bad.
It wasn't that bad. I laughed a little bit, but I
I
don't think I.
laughed
I
at
don't
It's
think
a
I was.
stuff that
giggle.
wasn't supposed to.
I
be
don't think I
funny.
was supposed to. Yeah, I don't think I laughed when I was supposed to.
It was
I was
supposed
just
to be like a
laughing. I was
giggle.
laughing at things that weren't even funny.
But I think what really made like Thor the funny guy was the success of Guardians of the Galaxy. I think
Yeah.
that really showed audiences.
They
that,
found out that
hey,
they can actually
yeah,
make a space guy, funny.
Yeah, Thor. If you rewatch, you can see that he's always kind of told like these weird fish out of water jokes. But I think Taika really capitalized. I just think personally, Taika should have been in charge of all 3 movies. I think,
Yeah, it could have been better. But I like the fact that he's not as funny and like a very fish out of water story here because
Yeah,
it makes sense. He never
it
been on
makes sense
Earth
for
and
his
stuff like
character
that.
in the beginning.
And then,
he's
as you can
really
see
just been a
throughout all
warrior
of these
his whole
movies,
life.
he's actually learning more jokes, being
Yeah,
more funny and stuff
probably
like
from being
that.
around Tony and
Yeah,
Barton.
quirky characters and stuff like
Yeah, I
that.
think he
So
really rubs off. Tony really rubs off on him. But I do think Taika was in charge. I think people would have learned from this phrase, the funny one.
Yeah.
You know, I like Thor in the current MCU. You know, he's kind of Joker. He's like more fish out of water than ever, and like he kind of reminds me a lot of Captain America. And,
Yeah,
these
Captain
early
America
phase
was very fish out of water
Yeah. Wait,
until they made him a bad.
bro, I don't got a problem with that, but I do miss the fish out of water elements.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it's like Hulk, where like I think a lot of these Phase 1 movies are like Hulk, where like they're kind of the Phase 1 the Phase 1
Yeah,
Black
they're still
Sheep.
trying to discover the tone.
Yeah,
and
they're still
everything.
trying to figure out what exactly these movies are trying to be.
Yeah, but I mean, this movie does lead into the Avengers. Well, though, I feel like no, I take that back. I take
not
that
as
back.
good as it should have been. I think it's
not
like,
as good as first Avenger.
I think it's like Iron Man 1, where you know, they're just kind of like doing their own story,
Teasing.
set up a sequel, but also, you know, with the end credits to throw in the Tesseract foreshadowing. And I really like that. I didn't really notice like from the whole time that Selvig has probably been under Loki's influence for way longer.
Yeah, he could have been. He could have been under his influence once the Destroyer came.
Mhm.
Do you think it?
I don't know. Who knows how long he could have been under control?
Yeah, I know it was for a year though.
It had to have been before. I think he
Yeah,
was
it had to be a
pretty
year.
much controlled by Loki even before Loki arrived on Earth.
Yeah.
You think?
I think
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
yeah,
mind control,
yeah,
but I
yeah,
think he
yeah.
was influenced
Yeah,
by Loki.
yeah.
But this movie,
We can see that in the
I wouldn't
post
say
credit
it
scene.
fits into the MCU, but it doesn't not fit in. It's like I said, it's just kind of like there. All these Phase 1 movies, up to like First Avenger, are just kind of their own like pocket universe.
Yeah, not really.
No. I think First Avenger is the one that really like I remember a whole bunch.
Bro,
It's in the title. First Avenger.
They put a whole teaser
I
for
know.
Avengers at the end of the movie.
It wasn't pretty much the trailer that was the end credits.
Yeah.
It was the trailer for Avengers.
Exactly. That's what kind of pissed.
That's crazy.
I don't
That's
know.
crazy.
So you used my lines now. That's crazy.
You didn't invent it. All words are made up. Not by you, definitely.
I understood that reference.
You always
Stan,
do. Stan the Man.
Did you guys see Stan Lee? Did you
I saw
guys catch
Stan the
Stan
Man.
Lee?
Yeah.
It was like
The
what
dude
was
with
it?
the
Iron
truck.
Man 2, Iron Man 2 and 1. Blink it and you
Yeah, I
miss
knew
it.
where he was at. I just didn't
Blink
see
it and you
him.
miss it.
Yeah, I heard his voice. I didn't see him.
You know, I kind of do wish these Phase 1 kind of showed Stan a little bit more. But it is kind of cool. Like, he's just like in the background, just being a normal character. I think Phase 2 is when they really started like making Stan important. Like, really, people only saw
I think
Stan Lee
before
if you
the
knew who he was.
MCU was when Stan was. He actually had a bunch of lines.
Yeah.
You know, in
Oh,
the
God.
Sam Raimi films, dude.
Fantastic Four. He
Mhm.
attended the wedding. Oh, that was the best. That was one of the best cameos.
But I think it's, you know, it's a really nice, sweet, you know, rest in peace, Stan. It's always good seeing them in a movie. I
Yeah.
always love seeing them.
I mean, they could do the same thing that they did with Captain Marvel. You know, they really could like CGI him.
Yeah, but I
I
think
was
that would
really
be kind
sad.
of
I was really
distasteful.
sad. Actually, that would kind of I don't.
Yeah,
never
that
really
would kind of
disrespect him,
dishonor his
but
his.
But I
yeah.
feel like he
leg-
would want it. I feel like he would want it to keep the consistency
Yeah.
of Stanley.
Honestly,
Or
I think
no,
what
just
they
do what
should
they
do
did in
is give him a cameo, but like a background cameo, so like an image, something.
Yeah, that's what I
like-
was about to say. Like how they did in Far From Home, right? Like they just have like Stan
He
and,
wasn't
like,
in Far From Home.
No, wasn't he on like a billboard or something?
Nope. He wasn't in Far From Home.
Well, I think that's what they should do from now on. Like maybe have like a picture of Stan somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
I think that would be
Or
really
like-
tasteful.
or like something about like a new like a commercial or something,
Or just
or
have
a
like
new thing that's
yeah,
been
or
created,
like a
and
reference
he's
like
advertising
with one
it.
of his lines, where maybe like one of the characters says Excelsior or something.
Yeah, like they always do that in the Arrowverse shows. Like they always be talking about Marvel in the Arrowverse show.
You know,
They have a lot of Stan.
I miss when
stuff
Stan
in
was
there.
in these movies, and I hope they find some way to keep putting him in. But
Yeah, but
what is
him,
it?
you know, he never got to see Avengers Endgame, and that's what
Yeah, that saddens me.
he died. He died with half of his characters dead.
Mm.
The only movie that he saw was Venom.
Wasn't Endgame finished filming before he died?
Yeah,
But one
I
thing
don't
I
think
like
he saw.
always watching Stan Lee on YouTube, I like seeing characters like first reaction to meeting him, like Brie Larson's. Have you guys seen Brie Larson's
Yeah, she's
reaction to
smart.
meeting him? Yeah,
But I think that was a reshoot. That was a reshoot. because they had to CGI him in.
Well, no, I think it was her first. No, he was in Captain Marvel in person.
I know he was in Captain
Well, I
Marvel,
think
but
her first time meeting.
they
him,
CGI some of it.
I think her first time meeting was with and Tom Holland as well. And I remember at a Comic-Con panel one time, Stan Lee said Robert Downey who he imagines when he thinks of Tony Stark. And I'm pretty sure
Yeah, I saw that. I
RDJ
saw
hugged
that
him.
too.
Yeah, heart wrenching.
And
Yeah.
he said something along the lines of Robert Downey Jr. truly brought Iron Man to life. Something
Man,
within the lines of
Rest
that.
in peace, Stan.
Yeah, miss him. I wish I could. I wish I could
Yeah, I
have met
wish
the
I
guy,
could have
bro.
met him. It would have been like probably intimidating, just because of
Yeah,
it's freaking Stan Lee. Just imagine if Stan Lee
freaking
showed up
kiss
to
his
your
hand
freaking,
just like Thor did.
freaking bow down to him. But we're running
Like I
up
probably
here,
like
so
get his little hand just, just.
Okay, that's too far.
what do you guys think of the post-credit scene before we wrap up?
I felt like it was in place but out of place. I wanted a Captain America ice.
Yeah.
Could
That was-
have been. Yep, could have been a Captain America.
Like, imagine
tease,
if that first scene in First
Just the
Avenger where they
ice.
find him in the ice. Imagine if that was the whole credit scene, and it ends with this one's been waiting for far too long, and then you hear his theme, then it cuts to black.
Dun, 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 dun. No, that's Spider-Man.
Dun,
Wait.
dun, 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 dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun. Boom. That could have been cool.
Captain America deserved an end credit scene.
Yeah, I think they should have
He
saved
deserved
the
a
Avengers
better
one
end
for
credits.
the end of First Avenger instead of freaking giving us a trailer. But
Yeah,
post-credit
the
scene-
end of First Avenger could have been the end credits.
Yeah, I think it's very ominous. It really made me wonder, geez, how long has Selvig been under Loki's influence?
Yeah. He probably just got influenced by Loki like right before he met Nick Fury.
Yeah, I think they were.
But I think that was a good way of setting up the Avengers.
Yeah, I think it was a very nice way.
Dude, I can't wait until we talk about First Avenger.
I
'cause
know.
That's like one of my favorite MCU. Actually, it's my favorite introduction. My favorite character
Yes.
introduction in the MCU.
My favorite. I
yeah,
think it's my favorite introduction, and it's my favorite Captain America movie. Like, I love all the Captain America movies. This is the one I enjoy the most when I watch. This is the one I could watch.
y'all already know my favorite Cap movie, man.
Y'all know.
Oh yeah, Civil
no
War.
Cap
I know
movie.
Sterling. I know Sterling.
What?
Civil War.
I'm
Civil
You
War
bum.
is so
I'm
good.
so
Off my
excited for
podcast.
next week.
But like, oh, bro, Winter Soldier is the best solo movie.
Mhm.
Oh my God, Winter Soldier is so godly, bro. Yo, might as well just wrap this up so I can get to Winter Soldier as fast as
Mhm.
possible.
Fast we wrap up. Faster.
Thor,
Yeah.
Thor was a mixed bag for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible, but it definitely wasn't great.
I
On a
think it's
tier
good.
scale, what would y'all put this?
One more thing before I say my tier. I think it's a good movie if you hate it. Like, if you watch it back and you haven't seen it in a long time, I think it's good to come in with an open mind and watch it. But on a tier scale, I want to give it C. But if there was a number between B and C, I would place there. But I'm gonna
This
say
movie's
C
getting
plus.
a big old C.
Yeah, it's not bad
C.
and it's not great. Maybe a B, but I think that a B is like a little too gracious. Maybe if I had to put it on a number, I'd put like 7 out of 10, 7.5.
Look, this movie's bad.
It's not bad.
It's good and bad. It's just bad, but it's not like so bad it's unwatchable. It's a bad.
It just kind of leaves you with a
character
weird
introduction.
feeling. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
it's like-
they could have done a
it's
better
like-
job.
Ugh. This was the entrance. The sequel's gonna be trash.
I don't think they did a good job of making people like Thor. I think the Avengers did a better job.
Yeah,
But,
but personally, I'm putting it in B,
yeah, we'll see that.
right underneath Iron Man.
I sure do a lot of
Out of-
rankings now.
Out of the Phase 1 movies, this
It's a C.
one. What?
It's a C.
I think it's
No,
one of the
I-
better phase ones.
The ones at like the last 2 weeks were blunders. Thumbs down, probably middle, thumbs up. But-
Yeah,
This one was a definitely thumbs up. I think.
kind of a slightly thumbs. I don't know, just kind of mixed bag all around.
Yeah.
You know.
So, if y'all like this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Post some more MCU Rewatch next week. We are doing Captain America: The First Event. Please check out my channel, SDUB Nation. I have a lot of Arrowverse stuff. Definitely got a lot of Arrowverse stuff. It's more stuff.
If
So
you like watching channels like CW, Flash, Arrow, check out Sterling's. There'll be a link in the description and pinned comments, so go make sure you check it out. But don't forget to share this video around. Come back next week, First Avenger. And if you missed Hulk, Iron Man 2, or Iron Man, be a playlist.
Watch them.
Go back and watch
They're
them
worth
before
the
you watch
watch, bro. You gotta watch from the beginning, unless you just want to go look at a certain movie. But if you want our full opinion on the MCU, you gotta watch all of
it. Yeah. I've said my piece.
Yep. Davis, you said your piece? All right. Yep. So like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.
See you next time on the regular podcast.